Hello and welcome to Nigeria Now, your digital first Pan-African News Network, TUS Television, the program which brings you newspaper analysis across all of Nigeria's national dailies here on TUS TV. I am Sagir Ibrahim, and with me today in the studio, as always, is the sub-editor here at TUS TV Network, Mr. Adibaya Fajimi. Good morning, Mr. Adibaya.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show once again.
Thank you.
Yes, so let's get right into it. We start with the Daily Trust newspaper. We could see from the banner headline, 2023 expectations, doubt as Jega, Utomi, others mobilize against APC PDP. Why movement will fail, lawyers. Present arrangement favors two parties. That's according to Dons, and they are not a threat, PDP and APC. He said this last rider, they are not a threat. I had a conversation with an APC stalwart some few days ago, and he stated this categorically. You know, he was talking of how it has always been a norm for us to see this same caliber of people come just, you know, on the eve of the election to say, look, we are floating a party that is going to compete with the two major parties. So what's your take on it? Do you think it's also just, you know, a game that they are playing?
Yeah, of course, I believe it's a game because it's too late. I don't want to believe it is, they are not that threat. Because if you look at the caliber of people, they are people, you know, who have made their marks in the sand of time, and that they are well known in Nigeria, even in the polity. But the approach is just it's just too poor, because less than 15 months to the general election and you are just coming up. And but election it cannot just be won anyhow. At least you need to be in control, you know, in some certain places. Like how many governors do you have? How many senators do you have? How many House of Rep members? So, and if you look at these people, you hardly see any, you know, big wigs, you know, who is in the position at the moment. So they just, you know, telling Nigeria now that this is not a local government election. This is not a ward, you know, something. So it is Nigeria. So it is just Nigeria is too big, you know, for the kind of approach they are coming off
election and say, look, we are going to be a third force, and
honestly, so it's too late for them. No doubt about that.
All right, okay. So we see there on the Daily Trust newspaper the picture of the day. I just want your comments on the, you know, clash between members of the Nigerian Armed Forces and the Shiites, whose procession was interrupted yesterday along the Abuja-Gwarinpa Road.
Well, it is not something to be happy about, you know, with the kind of demonization. Let me put it that way, that we saw. I think our troops should have taken it easy rather than. In fact, I saw something, but I'm yet to confirm that on the social media. How how a soldier, you know, use knife, you know, to harm one of these people and all of that. So even though the court has a position on this particular thing and government also has a position, however, we need to be mindful of what we do, because the most valuable asset on the planet Earth is human being, and we need to be mindful of how we treat people.
Okay. Moving on, we go to the Punch newspaper. From the very top, we see Nexim votes 36 billion naira for SMEs export businesses in 36 states. Northern governors under fire over silence as Kaduna death toll hits 51. Now on the banner headline, we see FG releases fresh debtors list November. 77 oil firms owe 2.66 trillion naira. Firms fail to remit petroleum profit tax, income tax, education tax, VAT, others. We are partnering EFCC and FIU to recover 2.66 trillion naira from oil firms, says agency. It beats me to see that despite the hardship that ordinary Nigerians on the street face to, you know, access petroleum and petroleum products, we could still see such huge debt being accrued by oil firms who are supposed to be charged with the responsibility of making available petroleum products to Nigerians. So don't you think there's sort of a double standard where the government is not doing enough to ensure that those who are supposed to pay, so the monies could be used to do what they claim it is being used to do, and Nigerians don't suffer for nothing?
Over and over, I will keep saying it, that, you know, everything falls and rises on leadership. If you look at the people we're talking about here, those people who own this debt, you know, an ordinary Nigerian cannot own an oil firm.
Yes.
The people who owns these things, if not politicians, they will have affiliate with them. So, and we have seen in this country time and again, politicians not doing what they need to do, not even paying taxes. Do you understand? So it is still bounds on them. It is still within them. So I think it's a good thing if government is going to take drastic step or approach towards this to ensure that they do what they need to do and they use the money for what they claim they will use it for. I think it's a very good thing, and it's a welcome development that every Nigerian needs to be happy about.
All right, so let's go over to insecurity, because you remember a few days ago we were talking about how every week we talk about insecurity here on this platform, and here it is again. Police comb waterways, others to free abducted retired general in Lagos State. So apparently they've abducted a retired general who is also, you know, the cousin of the former Inspector General of Police and current chairman of the Police Service Commission. That is Musli Smith. So what do you have to say about the abduction?
Well, it's dawning on everybody now. So it's not basically on African Nigerian.
And it's not in the north alone.
And it's not even in the north. It's in Lagos.
It's touching everyone.
And you can, you know, the kind of, you know, a crime that is happening in Lagos State, you know, lately is so alarming and it's so discouraging. So that tells us that, you know, the issue of insecurity is not the issue in the northern part alone. It is all across the country, and that tells our government that they should come up higher, and that they need to do whatever they can do within their power to ensure that, you know, this reduced to the barest minimum. If not, if they cannot be able to curtail it, you know, maximally, at least to be reduced to the barest minimum. All
right, so we'll go to the This Day newspaper. Still talking insecurity for that matter. Bandits slaughter 34, burn down 20 houses in Kaduna. I think this was also replicated in the Punch newspaper, where we see northern governors under fire for over silence as Kaduna death toll hits 51. So on the Punch newspaper we have 51, and on the This Day newspaper we have 34 persons who were slaughtered by bandits. Mr. Adepa, it beats me how every week we talk about figures. We talk about, unfortunately, they have become figures, but these are people, you know, wives, brothers, fathers, cousins, parents, siblings, children, who have lost their lives because of the insecurity currently going on across the different regions in the country. When do you think it is going to hit the government enough to take an approach that the entire Nigerians will stand up, giving them a standing ovation to say, yes, we are satisfied with what the Nigerian government and with what the Nigerian Armed Forces is doing? Because as a matter of fact, the both of us know that nobody is satisfied.
Tears almost dropped from the orifice of my eyes yesterday when I was reading a report from Kaduna, and I just tried to imagine myself, you know, having a relative in that kind of crisis, you know, losing people, you know, to that kind of crime. And you know, our leaders are not ready to fight this battle, to be honest. So there are many insinuations, many speculations of the likely of the kind of people behind this thing, and yet we have leaders who say, okay, of course we have people who are sponsoring these people, they have a backing of some certain people, and they say, see, we are not going to mention names, but we are going to prosecute them. Now, how we, an African Nigerian, believe that truly the Nigeria that we know, the Nigerian leaders that we know, are we going to be sure that they are going to do what they need to do? And except or until these people begin to feel what an African Nigerian is feeling, I think it is until then they can be very drastic and take a very proactive step to ensure that this comes to an end. But the way it is going now, I don't see anything change.
All right, let's hope we see a change worth seeing. Moving further, we go to the Daily Independent newspaper. We see on the banner headline, 77 oil firms owe FG 2.6 trillion as it borrows for budget deficit. On the Blueprint newspaper as well, we see the banner headline which states Southern governors to NSGF on power shift. No one can stop your freedom of expression. MBF slams Northern governors, elders. Says governors are beneficiaries of power rotation, will mobilize 3M against any candidate from North, and that's according to Group. Finally, on the Daily Times newspaper, Reps Senate in supremacy battle over bill's occurrence. On the banner headline there, we see Ngige enemy NARD meets over strike as enemy blames former NARD leadership for lingering strike. Former NARD leadership, a bad example to practice of medicine, that's according to the Labour Minister. Johesu reiterates threats to shut down hospitals, other healthcare facilities. Unfortunately, the strike has lingered for over a month now, as a matter of fact. And I wish we could talk more about the strike as well as other issues, but unfortunately we're out of time, and that's the much we can take on Nigeria Now this morning. Remember, Nigeria Now comes to you weekdays, Monday to Friday, same time here on your digital first Pan African News Network, TOS Television. You can be part of Nigeria Now by connecting with us on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at TOS TV Network. You can also read some of our content as well as watch Nigeria Now via our website at www.tostvnetwork.com, as well as watch a recap of Nigeria Now and other programs by TOS TV Network on our YouTube page at TOS TV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, I remain Sagir Ibrahim, and I will see you tomorrow.